podcast for sci-fi. Let's go.
That's right. Let's go. Indeed. Magic
Let's
Mike.
do it.
You doing all right?
I'm doing awesome. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Welcome. I'm glad you're excited.
I'm checking on making sure we're up on Facebook.
Yeah, we are. We are on Facebook.
And on YouTube. I just saw that.
We're on YouTube. Yes.
Sweet.
Oh man. We are live. We're live. Did you see that? Did you hear that? Did you get the feeling of that intro that we have there? Like,
oh man.
Going? Yeah.
Every time.
I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I love it so much I put together a little commercial for us.
Wow. Oh, nice. Oh, I thought you were gonna play one now. I was gonna say yes.
No, I don't have
Nope.
I don't have the equipment anymore to go live from my side.
Oh, what happened? The GoFundMe
didn't pan out. No.
Hey, speaking of GoFundMe, did you happen to see the post that I put a post up today on our Facebook? Was it today, this morning, or last night? I can't remember. With Thor hammers. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah.
Clay. I was curious about that. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize he was having. I knew he was having some issues. I didn't realize it had gotten to that.
I know.
Hey, Dave, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, man? Good to see you. To see you out there in Hollywood land.
He's got some great stuff, man. He's got some great stuff.
He does. Good stuff.
Dave lives in Hollywood, no matter where he lives.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. It doesn't matter where he's at. He's Hollywood land.
That's a good question, Dave. Where is your favorite client, Game God? I'm not sure. He said something about being on scene for something. I don't know.
Yeah,
he can't talk about it.
He's in Vegas for something.
He is in Vegas.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised he didn't reach out to you, Dave.
I'm surprised too. You know what? You should message him, Dave, and tell him, say I'm in Vegas. Where are you?
For whatever it's worth, I just found out recently myself. So there you go.
Like 2 days ago.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to be in Vegas. What?
Oh, okay. I'm glad to know this.
Yes.
Yeah, it exactly would have made the news. Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you didn't tell anybody.
What was that? I was going to say something, Magic Mike. You.
Oh, about the hammers?
Oh, yeah, about the hammers. So Clay, so he has this GoFundMe to kind of help him get through some of the tough times through COVID. And he was small business, making Thor hammers, making hammers, period. The hammers he produces, I still don't have one, which I want one. I've been bugging Clay to get me one. But it's some of the best hammers I've ever seen. I mean, they're just phenomenal. And I still want to get one. But
well, as a matter of fact, you and Game God made a little movie, so it's on.
Yeah, we did a little.
Channel. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, we did a little thing on the YouTube channel. But yeah, and Clay's a great guy. I wish I had one of his great hammers, but I don't. So. But hopefully, somebody can see that GoFundMe and help him out.
Well, he actually updated it to. He included that he would sell the Stormbreaker at a cheaper price just because he needs to. So, Dave, you should check it out, Dave, because that is your style for sure.
Yeah, Steph, he has a great. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
This is true. I can attest to that.
He has a Stormbreaker, a hammer. And it is I didn't see the final product. I saw him working on some of that stuff when at his then studio. But anyway, man, it's such good stuff. I'd love to be able to get one of the Thor hammers, but I'd love to be able to afford the Stormbreaker.
Oh man, it looks nice.
Yeah, no, JP, I see you out there. Just BOA. What's that?
I don't even know what that means. Just I don't know.
JP, I think JP, Dave Sampson. I think JP, Jason there needs some great legal advice. I will say that. I don't know if you can help him, but I'm sure he needs some good legal advice.
Yeah, he doesn't live in Vegas, so
no, he doesn't live in Vegas. I don't know what type of legal advice. I just think he needs some. Oh, that's funny.
What?
Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
Okay.
Well, which one am I, Magic Mike? Which one are you?
That's a good question. I would say that you're probably
Come on.
beauty. I'm
I'm
just
beauty?
saying. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
All right. I could be the beast. I have no problem being the beast.
I think
I
you're
think
beauty.
you're
I think
beauty.
you're the beauty.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have more color in your beard than I do, so I think you're beauty.
All natural too. All natural.
Yeah, no. All natural, number 17.
That's what it says on the box. All natural. So
Oh, you have a new assistant. Dave has a new assistant.
he does have a new assistant.
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
He does.
Yeah. Do you know this? Do you know
I
this?
do know this new assistant. She's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize this. Wow. Okay. Well, listen. Dave didn't fill us in on this before we get started, so I don't want to go into details.
No, he always comes in, and
just spoiler alert. Lets it go. Lets it fly.
Your name. This is true. Dave
says he never knew you had red hair.
Most people don't because it's typically blonde. Now it's more brown. But yeah, until I grow out my beard, you don't realize that. Oh, is that red? It is.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like what's the guy's name you knew growing up? He played the saxophone. Robert. He had brown hair and red beard. Robert.
Yes. I forget his name. I know you're talking about. Oh.
Robert Irons, Robert Young, Robert. I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know who that is.
It's not important anymore.
It's not important.
We do have important things to talk about tonight, though.
You do.
Super excited about it.
Let's. We should get started. We won't have a long podcast tonight. Let's do a shorter one. How about that? Because we're saving.
Oh yeah,
a little Boba Fett till next week.
Everybody can blame Game God for us holding Boba Fett.
Oh, Greg Irons, not Robert. It was Greg Young, Greg Roberts. Forgot his name.
JP will say it in a minute. Yeah.
JP, I love JP. JP, you should join us in the podcast sometime. You get your podcast rig up and going.
That would be nice. Bring back some good memories.
Yeah, let's bring back some memories. We could have used it tonight, JP. What's going on? No, I do. I care what he thinks about Boba Fett because I'd like to disagree with him because I think he could be wrong.
He's typically wrong on Boba Fett. So
he's typically wrong a lot, but that's not that's not here nor there.
This is true.
Yeah, he's gonna complain no matter what. Exactly. Let's do this. Let's get this little podcast going. Well, here we go. We're going to save Boba Fett until next week, so don't worry, no spoilers for you. But we do have a Dumbledore trailer. What's that thing called? I want to talk about some streaming companies tonight. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Spider-Man is also into that conversation. XMen 97, an official... I don't know if that's an official, but an official name, what we're calling that reanimated series. Let's talk about it.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. This is episode number 333. Without Game God, you do have Magic Mike and Moose right here to carry you through.
Yeah, and Moose, according to our announcer, I guess neither one of us can be beauty. So
no, okay. Well, there you go.
We're both the beast.
We're both beast. I can take that. I'm all right with being.
I'm good with that as well. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have to be a beauty. Besides that, beauties, they have so much to live up to. I don't care.
Man.
Yeah.
Constantly doing your hair, putting mousse in it, and doing all kinds of stuff.
Like that. I'd rather be a beast. Give me,
Yeah.
Or maybe you can just call me Gaston. Maybe that's a better way.
That would be perfect. That's the perfect fit. And most people have not heard your Gaston voice, but well, I'll just drop that. Leave that there.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. Of course, you could listen to us and join us right here, video on Facebook Live, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday, unless noted otherwise, because sometimes we have to move it and things like that. Things get in the way sometimes of real life. But we hope you can join us and help us talk about all these wonderful things. On Spotify Live, we might be on Spotify Live. I don't know.
Well, we're not, but we could be.
Probably. Says Spotify Live. Maybe. We are on YouTube live right this moment. Yes, that is correct. And Facebook. So we'll explain the audience into maybe some Twitch later. Maybe some. I don't know. What else? Instagram. I don't know if you can do Instagram Live. Can you do that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I do not know the answer to that. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. What's going on, Junior? We call him Junior. I don't know if we really call him Junior.
We do now.
We call him JR. We just how about JR?
All right, JR. I don't know. I've known a JR. I don't know that I would put him in the same category.
Oh boy. You know what? Let's kind of start with some of the fun stuff. I just want to talk about XMen 97. Now, XMen 97 is from an original piece, original animated series about the X-Men, the animated series that ran from 1992 to 1997. Now, originally it was only meant to be a 13 episode stint, but fans loved it. Fox loved it. Fox Kids Network, they had a great showing out of it, and so then it lasted 5 seasons, 76 episodes.
Wow,
yeah,
76. I knew it was up there. I know it's 76.
And by the way, that's too little. We wanted more because it had such a great just a great feel to the show. I didn't realize it was in 92 to 97. 97. Can you believe that? That's incredible.
that's a little while ago. Hey, by the way, Dave says Wonder Woman 1984 has me gushing about anything with a year in this title. Okay.
Well, I got news for you. The X-Men, the animated series, is, we talked about them redoing this and coming back and picking up where they left off. Now, I don't know what they're going to do for voices because some of those people aren't around anymore, but some of them are. And I think it would be pretty cool. So they set a hard date though when we would be seeing this. Yes, it's going to appear on Disney Plus, which is great. But Disney announced that November 2021 as a date. So I'm thinking if that was the original date, that it was moved. Maybe COVID has a problem with that, but summer of 2023 is what the official word is.
Oh man, come on!
Yeah,
you got to be kidding me. How are we at this point? I mean, it's X-Men 97. There's not a whole lot you have to do there.
Yeah,
just put it out already and be done with it.
Pick up where you left off. That's it.
Absolutely.
You're done.
Do you think that they're trying to let things catch back up with the movies coming out, other shows that are out right now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I think maybe I don't know how much the animation. I mean, how much could they do in a one? Initially, their initial they're gonna do 10 shows, 15. Like a 13 run, 13 shows maybe, and then that's it. So how long does it take the animation to draw 13 shows? Do you think?
I don't think it's that long anymore. The technology.
Do you think? I don't think it's going to be hand drawn. I think it's going to be, like CGI, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
CGI. Hopefully, it's not. I'm concerned. This always concerns me because there's certain. I don't like the anime side specifically of the CGI necessarily. I like the older style animation or the hand drawn stuff like we saw with the X-Men originally. Okay. JP says it takes a year to get about 15 to 20 episodes.
Yeah. So let's say a year. So that means that starting, just probably in November, because they originally talked about it in 2019.
Yes.
And it was brought up again just last year. So if it takes a year, I think of course, recording the voices in that doesn't take long at all. I mean, putting the voices to the the animation would be pretty easy. But which one do you think they have done first, the voices or the animation? I think the voices, right?
Yes.
I think, right?
No, you're right. Sorry, I'm reading Dave's comment. It's like, why are you even bringing this comment up? We're not talking about Boba Fett tonight. We've already said that. He's going to ask what are what's the line on whether or not Mando removes his helmet. Hey, let's stick with X-Men. So yeah, but I guess my thought would have been that they would have already started it, though. That was my first initial thought. They've already started.
I don't know.
It.
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know which one comes first. I would, yeah. I mean, JP. So in the chat room, JP says, yeah. The storyboard, of course. Line up the talent, work, draw, record, music. But again, does the drawing come prior to the voices? I wouldn't think so, because you'd have to show if they're screaming. You don't know how long they're going to scream or which scream you're going to use. But I guess with CGI, is it much easier than the hand drawing? Because the hand drawing, you have to go back and actually redo it. In the CGI piece, you got, okay, well, this is the guy. This is what he looks like. I just need him to move left, right, up, down, move his mouth. I think it's probably easier. So they probably could get an easy piece.
Yeah, I think it is easier. I'm not sure about the 15, 20 episodes. I think JP typically knows what he's talking about, but he may be thinking, old school, older drawing, or without the CGI we have today, as far as how long it would take to put out 15, 20 episodes.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Yeah, I don't know. But you better know something. You're on a podcast talking about it. You better know. So I'm going to say yes, the voices come first. I'm going to say yes, the drawing. I think it's not going to be hand drawn. I just don't think they're going to take that time. I think it's going to be just like everything else that we see nowadays. Yeah. When you see a hand drawn, you're like, oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. No, I think, and you're right, Moose. They do the voices first because, like you said, it makes sense to do the voices first to try to get everything else in with the movements or whatever it may be. So
yeah.
So that you would think they would have started already. Have you seen anybody names out there for who they're going to be the voices? I know we don't like to look at that necessarily, but
no, I haven't. Sorry, for those listening on the podcast without visuals, reading the chat room comments, and it's quite funny. I'm going to say that a few of the older ones would still be alive and still able to do some of that stuff, but I think that they're probably going to go a whole new. I'm guessing. They'll sound a little like it, but I think they'll get all new people.
And I think sometimes you don't even realize how important the voices are until you get it all together, because even the action of the voices has a certain connection.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious. I am. We're always concerned about voices anytime we see something being redone, like Transformers or any of those things. We're always curious about that. So it needs to be the right people in place. Voltron was the same concern initially, but it came out great.
It came out great.
Yes. Yep.
Came out great. It's unbelievable. JP mentioned in the chat room, like Master Chief, Yeah, I mean, but there is a certain level that each character does have a certain thing that you think about that character. So you go, okay, this character should sound like X. So it's going to be somewhat close to that. Yeah. But I can't imagine Wolverine. I mean, it's not going to sound like Hugh Jackman. It's going to sound like the Wolverine of the animated X-Men. He's going to sound like this.
Yes. And he should.
Gravelly voice. I don't know. I remember watching younger, the like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and then you had Wolverine on that, the X-Men on that episode, and he talked like this. He had more of a more of an accent, which is so funny because you didn't have that later on, and later on that actually was the better voice. I don't know the guy who did it, but it was terrific. Yeah, he's supposed to be Canadian, right?
Yeah,
but he sounded Australian. Yeah, exactly. He really did. He sounded Australian in that particular episode.
Jeez.
Can you I need to speak to my legal counsel. Can we have a sidebar? Dave is just talking Boba Fett inside of the chat room, and I can't comment. I know. I got to save it for next week.
We're gonna have to take this to Chambers if you don't stop. So
I gotta take it to Chambers. Yeah.
oh man.
Anyway, I am looking forward to this new series, and I'm super excited about it.
I am too. I'm excited it's on Disney Plus, but I have a bone to pick with Disney Plus.
Well, can I tell you the last piece of the piece
Yes,
of the scenario with this animated piece was they do talk about, now this is unofficial, but they talk about the series will have most of the surviving cast return to reprise their roles. So that's interesting if they pick those characters. And you don't have to replace, like Scott Summers, you'd have to replace him, Cyclops. I'm not sure who else would have passed, but I know for sure that Scott, he passed away. But anyway, I'll let you go on. What's the bone you want to pick with him?
So here's the bone I want to pick with Disney Plus. So I mean, in Spider-Man: No Way Home, right? This is how it connects. It's doing great. It's hit $1 billion, and believe it or not, 700 and I think it was 50 or 60 million is domestic, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's the fourth highest as of to date in history. But here's my bone. So when Spider-Man eventually gets, probably the next 6 months, gets to a streaming service, it's going to Stars first. How is
Stars?
this
Stars, the streaming network Stars.
The streaming network Stars is where Spider-Man No Way Home is going to go first.
That doesn't make sense. But it is Fox. It's a Fox property still, right?
Yeah, but I have a huge issue with this, and here's why. I pay for Disney Plus content, as I think all of us do, if I'm not mistaken. I don't just pay just to have it up on my TV or to be able to say I have it. I want Disney Plus content. This is a Disney Plus content. It's a Marvel content. How are they not come to Disney? Well, I know why. It's about money. That is the reason, because I'm sure Stars is offering them a certain amount of money to say, hey, come here first, because we need to pick up, and people will wait for it to come to Disney Plus. But yeah. I'm struggling with this in my own mind to say, how is this okay?
I think you got to fight Fox on this. Although, does Disney officially own Fox now or no?
Well, they certainly own a lot of the rights to Fox. I don't know if they outright own Fox, but they have the majority. And so, and again, it's about, they're saying, okay, where can we make the most money first? Because if we go to Stars, we're going to get people to get to Stars. They're gonna get our streaming service for whatever time period they want to do it to watch this movie, and then it's going to come to Disney Plus.
Is it any previous obligation that Fox had with Stars? Perhaps. I'm just guessing.
Now you're getting into things that are not important to me. I just
legal. I need my legal counsel again. Legal. Please help.
I just don't care if there's some kind of contract out there for that. It needs to come to Disney Plus first.
They can afford to break the contract, though, couldn't they? I mean, let's be honest. They could afford it. They just earned billions of dollars off of a movie. You can afford to break the contract.
Absolutely. JP is talking about some of the licensing stuff, but and he does say Disney owned Fox, which, like I said, they do, but I don't think it's 100% that they control. But yeah, I understand that Spider-Man has different allegiances.
Yeah, he's saying that it's a Sony property, which I get, but it's I think you've made enough money that you could go, hey, we're breaking that deal. It's ours now. Sorry. I mean, can't you just do that? Can't you just say, yeah, take me to court, see you in court, see you, bam, boom?
I would think so. Why not? Dave knows, that's for sure. It's going to be worth it in the end, because you're just going to, you're going to take it and do what you want to with it.
Yeah, exactly. I that's what the comments say too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, for me, I just think about it and I go, well, you got enough money, just take them to court. Just settle it in the court. I mean, even if you lose, you win. I mean, just get it done with so you can make another Spider-Man. That's what I would say. Hey, just get it over with. You go, hey, take your losses now, whatever loss that it is, and then hop back on the bandwagon, make another Spider-Man, make another $1 billion. Big deal, And we were just talking about Stars. Stars.
I know
Stars. Do you have Stars?
I do not have Stars. I think nobody listening to us has Stars. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't even know where to find stars. I mean, it's
You will when Spider-Man comes out.
like having Verizon as your carrier. Like nobody knows Verizon is. Give me a break.
Oh yes,
I'm just kidding. Verizon's pretty big. I'm just kidding.
they're big. Yeah.
But if I said Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, he owns Mint Mobile or is a part owner of it. And Mint Mobile is a good company, but it's a reseller. But if somebody said, all the new Apple products are going to be only issued by Mint Mobile, and you go, what? Who?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Exclusively by Mint Mobile.
Exclusively,
you have to go to their site.
Yeah, they wouldn't make any sense. What streaming sites are you using, Magic Mike? Because here's the thing.
Oh.
I recently started paying for Peacock. Okay. And let me just say, I've said this before on the podcast. I had cable. I cut cable. And I said, okay, I'm not going to go back to cable. I'm just not going to do it. It was too much money. You're charging me. I can't, blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, so here we are, however many, months, years later, I'm paying 3 times as much as I did for cable with all of these streaming sites all together. And then you're going to go up even more, Netflix raising their price again, YouTube raised their price. I think it's just continuing to go up and up, but I'm paying for Peacock. So I said, okay, let me do Peacock. And they have so much on there that I didn't expect. They have like a ton of like old wrestling videos, like from WWF.
Wow.
Not
wow.
WWF, like all the original stuff that you can go back and see. It's really incredible to see. I mean, with the Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, kind of stuff. And I just think that's just so cool to see. WCW, they have all this stuff there. And I'm like, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. I don't know that I can add on another streaming service. And the reason why is because it's just like something bothers me to be able to have to do that. Because like you said, cable was, and I don't know, you're paying 3 times more than cable. You think so? Cable's got to be $100 a month.
Cable? I was paying like $130.
There you go for cable. And you're paying 3 times that for your streaming services?
Listen, let's add it up. Let's do it right now. Let's add it up.
Don't include the internet, just streaming services.
No, just streaming. So if you go Netflix, how much is Netflix?
Let's just say $20 for Netflix.
Oh, okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out right now. This is 20. All right, 20.
$20 right. For Netflix. Disney Plus is
I don't know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Is it like $10 a month, 15?
It's got to be like $12 or something like that.
Okay, let's just put 12.
It just all disappears, when you sign up. So you got Disney Plus, you got Netflix, and you have
Hulu.
Paramount.
How much is Hulu?
Hulu is it depends on if you get a package deal though. See, because Disney and Hulu can go together.
Listen, now you see splitting atoms.
Well, I'm just saying. So $10 a month for Hulu. Does that sound right?
Splitting hairs, I think, is the correct term, but splitting atoms, I like to say.
That would be a sci-fi term since this is.
So yeah, exactly. So Paramount Plus. How much is Paramount Plus? I don't even know.
$7, $10.
Okay, let's just put 10.
Okay,
I'm really far away from 3 times the amount.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so,
and right, what'd you put for Hulu? You put 10 for Hulu?
I didn't put anything yet. I'll put 10 for Hulu.
10 for Hulu. Okay.
I'm at 52.
Okay.
All right.
So then, goodness gracious.
What else?
HBO Max.
HBO Max. I pay nothing because I have AT&T for my cell phone.
Okay. So you don't even pay that. But that's. I don't even know what that is now.
What about all this other stuff? Here we go. JP's chiming in here. Hulu, $20. Okay.
It's not $20.
Amazon Prime. Yeah. You gotta get that in there.
Oh, hold on now.
No.
You can't add Amazon Prime unless you're doing the show separately. Because you're not just paying for the TV.
No, but if I put in like $7 a month, that would probably be accurate.
Okay, probably so.
So let's just do 7.
How you JP? How you paying? Disney and Hulu $20 a month. So that makes sense. Okay.
Whatever.
So you have that makes sense.
But I pay for Hulu with no commercials, so I pay more. So
that's on you now because you can't compare that to cable.
Yes, I can because cable
had commercials. Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
Cable has commercials. And here's the thing: I'm up to like $60. That's all I have. Okay. But I got more than that. I'm telling you, I got way more than that. What else
do you have?
Discovery Plus.
Discovery. I don't have Discovery.
I do. So we'll just put $12 there.
That is not even close to $12.
You crazy?
I
Come
am
on,
not crazy.
I get no, I still get commercials with them, I think.
Discovery
But,
Plus is not even close.
What is it? What is it?
It's like $6 or $7 a month.
Oh,
Like half that.
Yeah, that's the Vegas price.
No,
I got-
I'm
I
surprised.
got
JP
Florida
hasn't.
price. Why are you trying to look that up? That's ridiculous. We're not looking any of this up. We're not fact checking me.
JP, look it up.
Don't look it up, JP. Anyway, the point is that the greatest thing though with streaming is that even if we're paying 3 times or maybe the same amount, I'm getting
$5 a month. JP says Discovery.
whatever, $5. That's, that guy, I don't know what he got. Where'd he get that from?
He's got the Florida version.
The greatest thing is that I'm getting it when I want it.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing. Is I get it. I want to watch it. This is when I want to watch it, and so I don't mind paying for that if it's compared to, yep, you missed it. You missed that. Yep, it was over with. And DVRs, are DVRs still a thing? Like, do people still use DVRs?
They're part of the cable. They still come in the cable box.
Well, you have to because you can't stream. You
Right,
can't be
exactly.
I'm telling you, I have probably 5 other services that are not listed on this list that we just added up. I'm 100% sure that I have 5 other services.
You probably have 5 other services you don't even know you pay for.
That is probably true as well. You know what? I just thought of one. Boomerang TV.
Boomerang?
Yeah, you ever heard of that? I pay for
I
that
have.
one too.
Who's paying for Boomerang?
Me, I pay for that.
Do you even watch it?
No, but I have it. If I want it, I have it.
There's probably nothing on Boomerang that you can't get somewhere else.
No, you get all the old cartoons. I love them.
What
You put them on, just let them play.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Most of those you can get on Paramount or you can get on HBO Max. You can get a lot of those on there.
Did we mention Paramount? We didn't mention Paramount.
Yeah, we
did.
did. Yeah,
I forgot. I see Tad out there. Hey, how are you, Tad? Good to welcome.
Tad.
Join us. Thanks for joining us. Even better late than never. That's what I say.
Yes.
To live by. Yeah. IMDb. I have to pay for that one. That's
it's free.
Oh, well, I pay for IMDb Pro.
No, you pay for a different reason. You don't pay for yes.
Okay. All right. I can't include that one. Well, it doesn't matter.
It's not 3 times. It's probably not even the same price. It's cheaper
I don't mind
still.
Well, what about NBC? Oh, it's Peacock, right?
Yes.
I'll just start paying for that. Okay. All right.
It's still cheaper. You're still cheaper. So you should just go, yeah, wow, I'm still cheaper. And I'm making out either way.
No, because I still have to pay for internet, which is still too much money as well.
Well,
that actually has gone up. Yeah,
and that it's going to continue to go up.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, well, anyway, that's my beef with streaming sites. Sorry, I can't. I don't really have.
Can't back it up.
Hey, for what it's worth, did you see the Dumbledore trailer? What's the new movie called? It's called
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Secrets of Dumbledore. That's
Yes.
right. Did you see the trailer?
I did, and that's a great title, by the way. I love this title.
I love that.
Man.
Yeah.
I
So what's your first impressions of this?
well, before I get to the impressions, I just want to say, because watching all of the other Harry Potter stuff, you're like, what was Dumbledore like when he was younger? Because he's so powerful. He has this power about him. And so the title itself, that's why I say so great, because you're like, oh, we're going to learn about Dumbledore. And as I watched this, I thought a lot of things along that line. What are we going to learn about? Because there's some things that he does without a wand, or some things that he does that is magic. That you would go, wow, that's powerful. And so I'm looking forward to that for sure. Dave Sampson is still bringing up Boba Fett predictions.
Okay, Boba Fett prediction at the last piece of the podcast. Okay, I guarantee it.
Yes. So
make a prediction.
they usually come true. At least they have once. They have once I've done it. So, and then we see the Muggle. I forget his name now off the top of my head. He gets a wand in the trailer. And so my question was, I wonder if, because this is, back a ways, I wonder if this is when we first start to see Muggles getting magic powers. And that was I thought, is this where we're going to see it? Is this the lead in for that? And I would love to see that. I also saw something else, which is really exciting to me, because throughout all the movies, I didn't get as much Quidditch time as I wanted compared to the books. And I did see, we did see the snitch early on in the trailer, and then we also see later on someone flying on their broom in a Quidditch Gryffindor jersey, which I thought this looks really cool. I'm glad they're going to add. At least I hope we get more out of this. And then I got to tell you, after all the Johnny Depp stuff that we talked about when it happened,
Right.
Mads Mikkelsen looks perfect for the part. I mean,
this guy can pull it off, right? This guy can do it.
We argued with Game God about this, and
Yeah.
he was like, "No, who is Mads Mikkelsen?" And we thought, "Are you crazy?" And this is who he is. He looks so good at this part. He's going to do an awesome job. I don't want to steal all the thunder, but man, it looks really good.
You're right on. I love what you're saying. I just think that you kind of summed it up with, we're going to see things that we wanted to see, or at least we thought of. We maybe you didn't spend a lot of time thinking about Dumbledore and how he got to power, and what was his rise to fame, and why was he so great? Why was he the headmaster of Hogwarts? Well, now we're going to find out.
Yes.
Now we're going to find out just how powerful he was, and why is it that he knew so much about other things. And I always think we might learn a little bit. I hope we do, just to kind of the for not the Harry Potter story, but to understand what he was thinking for Harry Potter when he was like, was he using Harry Potter just as a pawn? Will he do the same thing to other people? And that's what I would like to see.
I think that's an excellent question, because, again, as a matter of fact, Severus thought that Dumbledore was using Harry Potter for a little while there. We got that feeling. So it was a good means to an end, because that had to happen. It needed to take place. And I think we're going to get some of that as well in here, because just the setup for it, as we see there. And what is his name? The creature guy. It looks like he's going to be using him. Newt Scamander.
Yes, thank you.
He's going to use him and his abilities in this. So I think that's what we're going to get from that. But what was really cool, it seemed like we progressed. Also, I wanted to mention this. So when they're in Hogwarts, and he says, I forget who he's talking to, but he says 3 points to Hufflepuff. I think he's talking to Newt, and he says that versus now the Harry Potter movies were 5 points, so it's like we upgraded the point system that we give out.
What's great is that we actually have a game that's a completely fabricated game from a story, and people understand the game like they would understand like basketball. Like you have this make believe game that people understand. I love that. I love the fact that that's even a real thing. Like, it's a real thing. People love Quidditch, and you can't even play it. Really, you can't really play it. It's impossible.
You can't.
Unless you find a flying broom. Oh boy. Let's see. In the chat room, I'm trying to catch up on some of these comments here, Magic Mike.
Dave he just won't let it go.
He won't. He won't let it go. Who gets more screen time, Boba Fett or Darth Maul? Well, if you caught our social media post, you could see that we'll make an appearance at some point.
And I'm trying to hold my comments to that, because I'm waiting for Game God for those comments.
That's right. Chad says all games are made up. That's absolutely true, until somebody says, hey, this is a real thing. Let's do it. My point is, you'll never be able to play Quidditch because you don't have a flying broom. So until you have that, it's still really made up. Like, I mean, otherwise you go, hey, let's throw this ball in this peach basket. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like it's whatever it is, whatever it takes. Anyway, let's see.
Dave wants a prediction. What do you got for him? Moves?
What prediction? Prediction number 1. I like the fact that who said this? Or maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe they should have said it. Mando. First of all, spoiler alert. Mando has the black saber. He makes the rules. That's what I say. Does he rule does he rule Mandalorian or not? He's got the saber. Isn't he in charge?
So here's where my prediction is going to go, because we can't go too deep, because we're going to talk about this last episode, and we're not going to do that. My prediction is this going to go a direction that's different from what people think it is? It's going to go back towards Mando. That's my feeling. Where it's going to be in his world. Where is he rule Mandalore? And I think that's the direction we're going to go. I think we're not going to get some of these predictions on the chat room, which is Mason
Real
Windu
answers. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that. I think it's going a different direction because I think I'm afraid to say this because I don't remember if I said this on the last podcast or not. But I think that I think that somebody else is going to train Mando on using the Darksaber.
Oh, maybe. You're saying too much.
I know.
Maybe do you think? I can't say. I don't want to say. I can't say because if I do, I'm going to go into deeper, and then all I'm going to do is talk for the next 30 minutes about Boba Fett and Mando and what I think. All these who will teach him if he were to be taught by somebody.
You're wrong, JP. By the way, it's not going to be Luke. I'm just letting you know now.
No, it won't be. Definitely not. I completely disagree with that. No.
Actually, you know what? I did mention the last podcast, so I will say it. I think it's going to be Ahsoka. And
that's what I was going to say. I was going to get at that, but because we haven't talked about that piece of the episode.
We haven't, but I mentioned it last podcast. That's the only reason why I bring it up again.
I know, but we had one air since then, which she was in. Spoiler alert! And we haven't talked about it, so I don't want to get into that. See, man.
Sorry, JP. He's all over the board now. He says first.
He's all over the Obi-Wan. Name everybody.
It's gonna be Luke. All my money's on Obi-Wan. No, it's gonna be. Come on, man.
Oh man. Well, all I can tell you is next week's podcast is going to be mostly Star Wars the entire time. I just want to say
probably all.
Probably all. Yeah. There'll be 2 episodes of Boba Fett that we have to talk about, and this last one I could talk about for an hour. We're just trying to save it because Game God's not here.
Yes,
and we know he's got something to say about it. Yeah. So,
and here's the only issue with this game, Moose, is that he's not. He won't have to worry about backtracking because he'll have both episodes in. So he's going to get to see.
He'll have no predictions to make.
Yeah, exactly. If he was on tonight, he'd backtalk or he would backtrack because he would make the wrong.
He would already be saying, "I was wrong."
Yeah,
you can always hear it right now.
Yep.
Oh man, hey, appreciate you guys taking time out of your night joining us on the podcast chat room. We appreciate that very much. We really sincerely do. And now we need you to go to our Patreon and support the podcast. I'm just kidding. It's not up and live. We do have a Patreon. This is not live. Listen, we're going to be talking about it next week, guys. Come back for more. We'll see you then.
I was just leaving.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.